Yes, Kenya. Tamu sana, yes. In this video, I want us to have a look at a story shared out by Standard Digital about 2 hours ago. Standard Digital. Hustler Fund minimum loan set at shillings 50. Maximum shillings 50,000 determined by borrower's credit score. Interest rate capped at 8% yearly on a prorated basis. That's the story as shared out by Standard Digital. Let's have a look at some responses by Kenyans on that. Velma Kadiori, pyramid scheme, Ruto bringing exorbitant mobile banking in government to exploit hustlers he swore to protect. Jeff Smarter, I once said that the manifesto of Kenya Kwanza sounded like a sweet love letter coming from a serial cheat. Now the realities are here. Evans Ongeri, Baba promised a grant of 6K per month to really hustlers. Ruto is giving 500 with interest. 500 is breakfast and lunch in a day. Never trust politicians and never fight for politicians. Jared Abuga is saving 200 for NSF is not enough. 500 for a loan is for what? Emelda Gasha, I know there is someone somewhere who took Ruto's campaign promises serious and is now thinking media houses are reporting fake news. Freedom is here. Wanjangi Ndungu, Kenya Kwanza government is overworking the hustlers. Work is overworking. The hustlers are well taken care of. Michael Otieno, that maximum is too much for hustlers. It should be reduced to shillings 100. Let's continue. Julius Maina Njoka, this is youth fund and ways of funds combined and it translated into hustlers fund, not what we campaign for, not yet Uhuru. Wafula Eric, whoever misplaced the president's manifesto book should be kind enough to give it back to him and remind him to transnight revising it. Joseph Njoroge, and the way it was much hyped during campaigns as money for vijana, perception was that it was free money. Politicians have really smart tongues when looking for votes. Those are some reactions by Kenyans on William Ruto's Hustler Fund that he has promised to launch in December. So you are seeing clearly that the fund is from 500 Kenya shillings to 50,000 Kenya shillings. And for you to get even that 500, it's something you must sign a form and pledge some oaths, or rather pledge some oaths, that if you fail to return that money, then there is a fine of 10 million. In this video, I want us to dig deep into that story to see what it means politically. If you are watching us for the very first time, subscribe, give this video a like. Yes, let's have a look at some requirements to get that Hustlers Fund. Number 1, form a youth or women's group. Number 2, draft a business proposal, produce good conduct certificate, share residential address, produce signatures from 4 guarantors, 2 must be your relatives, sign a non-disclosure agreement to serve a jail term for defrauding the government if you fail to repay within 6 months, open a bank account with the National Bank or KCB, produce KRA PIN certificate. Yeah, the funds will be available to individuals and also to groups. But those are just some of the requirements you will have to meet. From those requirements alone, you are seeing a good number of hustlers will not go to all that length in meeting those requirements, because the requirements are just unrealistic compared to the amount of money you are going to be given. Going through all that only to be given 500 Kenya shillings. A good number of the so-called hustlers will not waste their time looking for those funds because the requirements are just too much, but the funds being given are too little. The second thing is now clear William Ruto lied to the hustlers. It's very clear. When William Ruto was campaigning, he made it very clear to Kenyans, to these so-called hustlers, that the amount, the loan was going to be interest-free. It was going to be interest-free. We are now seeing the interest is 8%. If you fail to pay, there is a fine of up to 10 million Kenya shillings. So you are seeing clearly, William Ruto has just brought these people more problems and more miseries. Because I know quite a good number of Kenyans who will go for these loans, most definitely, they will squander these amounts. They will squander them. So you'll get that at the end of it all, this money will impoverish more hustlers than they are currently. Because you'll be given the money, money will not be enough. You eat the money or you squander the money. The next time the government is on your neck. And also looking at this whole thing called the Hustlers Fund, I'm seeing a William Ruto was not serious when he was making this promise. He knew that he was just throwing empty promises and he was not serious about keeping the promise. So I'm seeing a William Ruto who may be out of shame has just been forced again to actually just throw some money or just to please these people with some money. But in actual sense, William Ruto was not serious about these funds. He was not serious about the funds or about even giving out these funds when he was campaigning. But because of shame, because it's something that formed the backbone of his campaign, he has just seen maybe to cheat the hustlers with the so-called Hustlers Fund. And again, Kenyans should and must learn a lesson from William Ruto and this whole thing of Hustler Fund. Before you vote for a leader, look at a leader's track record. Even before the elections, William Ruto's track record was out in public. In 2013, they made some promises which they never kept, same to 2017. So in 2022, it was almost certain that William Ruto was not going to keep the promises he was making. And some Kenyans who had looked at the bigger picture warned other Kenyans against voting or even electing William Ruto. Some voted for Ruto thinking that he was going to fulfill or deliver on the promises. Some Kenyans warned some Kenyans against it. Now William Ruto is the president. You are now seeing the reality as it is. So the Kenyans who are warning other Kenyans against a William Ruto's presidency, they have actually been vindicated. Their fears and their worries have actually come to pass. What they were saying has been proved to be true. So it's clear that some Kenyans are not smart politically. They are politically naive, while other Kenyans are very smart and very mature. That comes out very, very clearly. So as Kenyans prepare for future elections, before you cast your vote for a leader, look at a leader's track record. If the leader is known to be making promises which he or she never fulfills, that leader, even if you elect him again, he will not keep the new promises he is giving to you. Kenyans should note that very, very keenly. And now we are seeing William Ruto as the president. He is still giving new promises. Just some few days ago, he was in Baringo, where he promised to build 1,000 dams and also 10,000 housing units in Baringo. And sometimes back he was in Ongatarongai, made some promises. He was in Kibra, made some promises. Ruto is still making new promises. The truth of the matter, those promises will not be kept. Ruto will not fulfill or keep those promises. 100% sure. So as I conclude, this government, Kenyans should learn from this government. Next elections or future elections, Kenyans should and must vote wisely. Let me stop it there. If you want to support our channel as always, I've pinned my number on the comment section. Contact me through the number or feel free to channel your contribution to the number. Let's meet in our next analysis. Thank you.